Welcome to You Ought to Watch This Movie, the podcast about movies from the first decade of the 2000s, aka the aughts. Follow along and explore a movie from the aughts, getting unbridled opinions from two millennials. Sit back, relax, and enjoy one of the best decades in movies.
Whenever you're ready.
Welcome back to You Ought to Watch This Movie.
Also known as Keanu in the popular world.
Yes. Today we are reviewing the movie The Watcher.
Yes.
From 2000. And it released September 8th, 2000. And
we're closing in on 2001. Ooh.
Hopefully. I also, let's see, hold on one sec. This is the time where we tell you if you haven't seen this movie, and just to be clear, it's The Watcher from 2000, because there's another movie from like 16, and there's a TV series or something, but this one is the one with Keanu Reeves and James Spader. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go watch it if you want, like if you don't want to hear spoilers. And we could not find it on a streaming service, so you may have to rent or buy it
from your local Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, Family Video, etc.
This is also when we tell you this is rated R. I was trying to find, I know when it came up on the TV,
for violence and language.
Yes, I was just checking to make sure that that's what IMDb said as well.
Well, it's all right. You know, violence and language.
I think there wasn't any nudity or...
Yes, there was none. So
yes, there was none.
If you are, looking for that, this is probably not your movie.
Yeah. All right. So, yes.
So you want to give us a summary?
Yeah.
Oops.
A retired FBI agent comes out of retirement to help catch a serial killer, and in the process gets his life back / starts living again / realizes he needed this serial killer ?
Yeah, I think that's a good summary, but I would only add, we don't know if he got his life back.
Well, I feel like it was heading in that direction.
Yeah.
So they kind of just ended it. So I can imagine.
Yeah.
A good ending.
I can only imagine.
Well, it seemed like before he was on this case to catch this guy, he was like kind of, lost.
Yeah.
He was just
clearly. Yeah.
About. So maybe after this he got called.
He was unmeandering.
Yeah, and he got like called back in to do other things.
Like, we need you. But I mean, given his other medical things that going on, maybe he just stayed in retirement. Who knows? Maybe he went to the Copacabana and just stay out there for the rest of their life. We don't know because of how abruptly it ended.
All right, so trailer.
All right, so my trailer thoughts were, sorry if you wanted to go first. Did you want to go first? Okay, I'll go first. Not sure how to feel about Keanu Reeves as the bad guy. The trailer makes me feel like it is from the late 80s rather than the aughts. Also, it seems like James Spader's character carries the same creepy vibes that all the other roles he is cast in has, at least from the trailer.
That's all?
Yeah, that's all. But, to provide perspective, is he plays Red Reddington on, what is that show?
The Blacklist.
The Blacklist, creepy character. He also plays, we don't know what his actual name is in The Office because he changes it, on the episode that he leaves. But his, running name is Robert California from The Office, and he is a creep, to say the least.
And he wasn't that creepy in Supernova. I just didn't like the movie.
Yeah, well, there was a whole bunch of unnecessary nudity.
He wasn't one of the people like walking around getting undressed and stuff. I mean, like not until those pod things, but I mean, like for the inappropriate scenes.
Yeah.
Wasn't one. He was actually trying to like run the ship.
Yeah, he was being a stalwart crew member.
Yeah. All right. So my trailer notes are: there was a voiceover. When we watched the trailer the first time, and I mean the other time as well, when we watched the trailer, it reminded me of Eye of the Beholder, which we talked about in episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
But I was hoping this might be better than that movie was.
Okay.
And then I said, we've seen both of these actors in 2 movies from 2000. Just like I said, maybe last time or a couple episodes ago, like a lot of actors had 2 movies in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
We might not have watched both of them for this podcast, but a lot of them had 2 movies. So
Yeah.
anyway, because we just talked about Keanu Reeves in The Replacement.
Yep.
And then I said, well, this also goes down here, so I might save it.
Okay. Well,
Those are the big takeaways from the trailer.
yeah. This is also right on the heels of like I think I said this about The Replacements, right on the heels of Keanu Reeves in The Matrix.
Yeah.
And so, in The Replacements, he plays, the good guy, leading the team to victory. And in this, he plays, a creepy serial killer. Not like Tony the Tiger, but, like murder killer.
Yeah. So now we're down to actors we know.
Okay. Well, I think we mentioned Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Movies like Speed, movies like Bill and Ted's Adventure, also
John Wick.
and as mentioned, The Replacements
And The Matrix,
and
as you mentioned.
all the other Matrix movies. Yeah.
And as I mentioned last time, The Lake House.
Oh yes, of course we can't forget about The Lake House, can we?
Only movie I know him from.
Wow. So he has a pretty wide-ranging, area of characters. From the hopeless romantic to the what's even real, bro. That's a combination, Bill and Ted, and also Neo from The Matrix. To, this creepy serial killer.
Yes.
Indeed.
And we also knew James Spader, like we already talked about,
Mm-hmm.
which you told pretty much everything we know him from.
So, who else was in here that you recognize?
One other person, Ernie Hudson.
Who was that?
Magic from Quantum.
Oh, yes, he was in the new Quantum Leap, which is god awful. But Magic, what's his name?
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson plays a wonderfully rounded character. He is the best character, in my opinion, in that new Quantum Leap series. All of that to say is the original Quantum Leap series is well ahead of its time and well worth the watch to clean your brain if you decide to watch the new Quantum Leap.
And also he's probably more well known because I knew he was from something else. He's probably more well known for Ghostbusters.
Oh yes, of course. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. So, who else? Anyone?
No, that's all.
Really? Oh, okay.
Mm.
I felt like we would know more people from this, but
I don't think so.
yeah. So let's talk about the actual content of the movie.
Yes.
So, what do you got?
The opening scene, used the song Dragula by Rob
Zombie, yeah.
But I knew this song. There was a cover. There's a show on Freeform called Cruel Summer. And in season 2, they used a cover of this song, which is also from some movie called Haunt or something. But it's a cover by Lizzie. I don't know who that is. It's Lissie. Not
Lizzie.
Not Lizzo. Well, S's could be like Z's. I don't know.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Maybe her name's Elizabeth and she goes by
She must be all
Lizzie,
fancy.
but with S's. I don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know. Okay.
But anyway, I this goes back to my thought. I mean, off topic, but like I feel like you like the first version of a song that you hear. So if you hear a cover of a song first, you like that over the original, and like if you heard the original, you like that better. Because I like the cover of Behind Blue Eyes much better than the original.
Well, and that song specifically is the one that I am like separate on. Is because I generally agree with the context that you will like a song based off the first version you hear.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, and I heard the Limp Bizkit Behind Blue Eyes version first.
Mm-hmm.
But when I heard the Who, it just hit differently. And I'm like, this is like, yeah.
So you like that one better than Limp Bizkit?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, I don't.
That's not to say I don't really enjoy the Limp Bizkit version. It's just the Who, it just hits different hearing them. And there's, just a added level of, I don't know, emotional complexity to the Who song.
Okay. Well, regardless, that song, that was the opening song, so I wrote that down.
So, what else?
Why am I saying all my stuff?
Well,
I guess because you haven't thought of anything to chime in with.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, this was my trailer thoughts, but I said, OMG. James Spader looks so much like Jensen Ackles. And I just don't know how we got from like there to what he looks like on The Office to what he looks like in The Blacklist. But then I thought, well, I looked it up. He was 40 in this movie.
Really?
Yes. And so I guess when he was on The Office, he was in his 50s. So that's how he looks so different. Because
I guess that would be some time frame. Yeah. Because, well, geez. When did The Blacklist come out? Because I feel like he would have been like, that was before he showed up on The Office.
But The Blacklist, I think it was after.
Well, either way.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
The Blacklist it was after because he was on in like 11 and 12.
Oh, so what
Blacklist
did he do
was
for those
13.
10 years? I want to see his physical transformation because he does look just readily different. And yeah, if I'm thinking of James Spader in Boston Legal, which that's just such a funny show. I can't believe we have not watched that because I know how much you enjoyed Matlock and William.
The new Matlock.
Yeah, the new Matlock is, again, we like, the remake versus, the original. But it's not really a remake because it's not, the same Matlock. It's just, Anyway, the combination of William Shatner and James Spader for Boston Legal, it is so superb. And in fact, like James Spader generally plays a creepy character. Okay, never mind, because he does have creepy attributes in Boston Legal, but God, he is funny in that show.
Well, that was right in the middle, like between this movie and The Office. It was 04 to 08, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not realize that. I did not realize that was such a short-run show.
Well, maybe that's how long he was on it.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe, yeah.
Because I just have his profile pulled up.
No, he definitely looks like Jensen Ackles and how everything was, like all surrounding like warehouses and whatnot. It really, gave off of supernatural vibe, which Jensen Ackles was a star in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dean.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the slow motion scenes were interesting, like when he was talking about flashbacks at the beginning.
Yeah, I thought that one comment that I remember thinking to myself is the director of photography is making a distinctive choice here, to make a mark. However, I can't necessarily because later in the film, and I'm trying to think of the precise moment whenever they do a flashback, is they have the opportunity to do the same type of, slow cuts that they just completely ignore. And it's like, did like the crew change or something? And needless to say, I mean, it was very interesting. And what I think they're trying to do, at least from my perspective, it seems like they're trying to jar you as to, because of what James Spader's character is going through, what's real, what's not.
Okay, yeah. And I said, so like the first scene where he is like injecting himself with stuff, I thought it was drugs.
I thought it was insulin, but now, given that they came clean and said it was for migraines, I'm like, oh, well, that makes sense.
But he said like he takes this for something, and this for migraines whenever the heck he wants. So I don't know. It kind of seems like he's being cavalier with all of the medications. And I was like, is he mixing the medications wrong? Because he has so many like times where he's passed out.
Oh, I don't know. But
and he had that big bruise where he was injecting himself.
Yeah. Well, I know for like my migraines, because I take a triptan, which is an immediate response, and as I do know that one of my options is a shot that is typically it's applied in the upper butt, but is stomach makes sense too.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he was doing a lot. He had a lot of different medications going on, like 3. I just don't remember the other 2 that he said in the.
Yeah, but he was definitely meted up.
And at one point I wrote down old tech alert because they're like flip phones, but the big cell phones.
The bulky ones.
Yeah.
Well, and if you weren't paying attention to the tech necessarily, you would think that it was the late 80s that this was, filmed in.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get that vibe, but I mean.
Well, and also, it's like you had them going to the mall, which, you won't see that many people in the mall anymore. Uh-oh.
Yes, you will. You see a lot of people. What?
Hold on real quick. Keep talking. For those of you listening, our camera went out, and you can watch on YouTube and see.
See what? A blank screen?
I guess.
Well, I'm happy because here where we live, we have 2 malls, and I really only go to one now, but like there are a lot of people there, and not just around the holidays.
Uh-huh.
So that makes me happy.
Well, it is nice. Man, I really like those. What are they? The seasonal sausages and cheese. Hickory Farms, yeah. They wanted to make it believable, put some Hickory Farm stands up there.
It wasn't Christmas time. That's a Christmas thing.
Oh. Yeah, I guess it wasn't.
I mean, they have a website now, but like they come to the malls.
Wait, you can order Hickory Farms online now?
I think so.
Shut up.
I don't know. I think they have a website.
If that's the case, I've been living in a season in my mind of, waiting for Hickory Farms part, that's one season, and then Hickory Farm season. That's the second part of the year.
Oh. All right. The next thing I wrote was, this was better than Eye of the Beholder. So I mean, I was interested in it. It wasn't as weird. Oh, well, well, I thought it was better because I was more interested in kind of like, how is this going to end? I didn't like the ending because it just ended abruptly, and I don't really like that. I like there to be some sort of epilogue or, after the ending. This is what happened.
It just like ended like, oh, okay, it's over, folks. Nothing to see more, nothing to see, go home, go home. And it's just like, why did it end so abruptly? Like, you had an opportunity to, just have, like, I don't know, just tell a little more about, okay, is his life going to get better? Did the Keanu serial killer survive?
I don't think so.
Yeah, me neither. But, still, it's just like, come on. You could have had some, level of, behind, the curtain, if you will.
I do like, I liked how they repeated scenes and lines from the beginning at the end to make it like cyclical, like a circle. They use the exact same scene with a different song.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And also James Spader said the same line that he said at the beginning at the end.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember what it is, but it just hit my tongue. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I know it was the same line, so it was kind of like tying everything together. But
all that to say, it was a decent movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't as creepy as Eye of the Beholder, which was just a creep show galore. That's in one of our earlier episodes. So
episode 4.
Episode 4, if you want to watch a weird, that was before we pre-screened our movies. Can you imagine where we'd be if we didn't pre-screen our movies?
We would only be halfway through 2000, probably.
I don't think we'd be that far. We it's like, I'm thinking about all the trailers we skipped, and I can count at least half a dozen off the top of my head, the earliest of which being
Gladiator.
Yeah, Gladiator, which is, again, nothing against the Gladiator. It's just, not our movie, or our type of movie, rather.
I think Miles would like it.
Well, I mean, I like anything about Roman, Empire. That's not to say that I wouldn't watch it. It's just to say that that's not our type of movie.
And you don't mind violence.
Well,
it doesn't
make
you cringe most of the time.
Yeah, I'm not sitting there going, oh, it's a movie.
But also, I wasn't sure what the story about the girl was about. Like, was that someone that he tried to save from this serial killer?
That's what I took.
Wasn't able to save.
Yeah, that's what I took.
But he was also in a relationship or having an affair with her, but this was in Los Angeles or somewhere.
Yeah, L.A.
I guess she was from Chicago, and that's why he moved there.
I guess. I mean,
that's so weird.
Well, I think she was buried there.
Yeah, so that indicates that she was from there. Why would you be buried somewhere that you're not from?
I thought you said she moved back there.
Oh, he moved back there because she was
out of guilt.
Buried there.
Yes, out of guilt.
Oh, well, that seems a little weird.
Well, okay, it's like, if we want to dive into the subtext of it, right, think about it, Keanu's character had this overwhelming connection, he felt like, to James Spader's character, the FBI agent. And, like, whenever they're walking in the cemetery, he's like, you're a good friend. Like, okay, weirdo. But is the serial killer got it in his mind that there was a connection, a visceral connection with this FBI agent. And because of that connection, that's why he chose to involve the FBI agent's girlfriend, with or without respect to her being married at the time and having an affair.
Mm-hmm.
And James Spader's character, after she was murdered, felt responsible for it.
I guess that makes a little more sense.
And that's when he started spiraling and, moved back to Chicago. And yeah.
Does that mean that you think like a serial killer? Because I didn't make that connection. I was just trying to figure out what that story was in the first place. Like, what it all meant.
Well, I guess only time will tell.
Well, you did watch Dexter, so...
Dexter is an excellent, excellent show, which, if you want to get precise, it is an excellent show, seasons 1 to 5. Don't watch anything past season 5.
I don't like people like you.
I'm sorry, but they completely, and for lack of a better terms, the writers shit the bed after season 5. It was such a beautiful way to sum up the story, but yet they kept having to push, and then they went against, and then they tried to reincorporate the original narrative from the books. And it's like, you morons. No, is if you're going to go down this trail, stick with it. Make it interesting this way. That's what makes it interesting. And then you reincorporate the books and you take out one of the single most defining characters of the books because you killed them off in earlier seasons. Okay, buddy.
I don't know. I just don't like when people say, oh, watch this show, but only watch these seasons. Don't watch the first 2 seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Well, I'm very interested to see, because we're watching Arrested Development right now. I'm very interested to see whether or not you will have the same take that I do, or whether you will enjoy the follow-on seasons past season 3 of Arrested Development, because seasons 1 to 3 are creme of the crop comedy gold.
Well, since I'm not really enjoying it now,
that's why I'm saying is maybe you'll like it. As just, I don't know, maybe our sense of humor is like off bound. Obviously,
it is.
Yeah, I have a much darker sense of humor than you.
Like Scrubs, I really liked the last season, and then nobody else did, and they canceled it.
Did you watch the original Scrubs seasons? Like, as they came out?
No.
Oh, okay.
I watched them on DVD.
Coming soon to DVD. Well, okay. What are you grading this?
Well, you know how I said I liked this better than Eye of the Beholder?
Uh-huh.
I looked back at my grade for that, and I gave this the same grade.
That's okay.
A 70%.
Oh, a 70%?
Because obviously I don't have the grading system down.
I don't necessarily think it's listen, if it was a 0 to 5 star, you're giving it a percentage, right? Is like it's passing or not. And if you were on a 0 to 5 star rating system, I think it would be different, because I think that you would probably give this 2.5 stars, as to where you'd give Eye of the Beholder 1 star.
Yeah, maybe we should change for 2001.
Yeah, we can change to a 5, not a 5 star. I think that'd be appropriate. My grade for this is a 76, because it just, it keeps me interested enough. It's not something I'd watch again, but I really enjoy the characters that Keanu Reeves and James Spader plays.
Yeah.
And also, update on the Hickory Farms situation. Apparently, that's from a video. They do sell year-round.
You can buy online.
You can buy online. Where is this been online?
I don't know. It probably costs a lot because you have to if you get refrigerated stuff.
Yeah, well, oh, apparently you can get a 3-pack. Oh, man. I got to see what's in it, because, there's certain things that I don't want. Anyways, until next time on
Yada.
Or You Ought to Watch This Movie, we will see you later with another movie here in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Thank you.
Subscribe.
Oh, yeah, subscribe. Like and subscribe. Share it. Bye. Have a beautiful time.
Thanks for
Bye.
listening to You Ought to Watch This Movie, a podcast about movies from the first decade of the 2000s, aka the aughts. Be sure to subscribe for new episodes covering movies you ought to watch. We'll see you next time.